The market is not going to explode, but money is still pouring in. Is this a bull market or a bear market? The Fed will not cut interest rates, funding rates turn negative. ETF surge. Who is secretly buying the bottom of Bitcoin? After being invited to have tea by the French police, Pavel Durov's radical attack reveals the truth about the French crisis. Bitcoin ATMs become a springboard for fraud, and the United States has launched a wave of crypto ATM bans. Stablecoin settlement is on the rise. Lu Changdong is just in time to seize the opportunity of stablecoins. From a speculative paradise to a high-risk zone, was the collapse of Pump.fun an accident?
Thursday, June 19th, Bitcoin TV English channel. Where is the coin chain? I am Mike. Let's start with the 24-hour data headlines in the cryptocurrency circle. The Federal Reserve held another meeting early this morning Beijing time. This time, as expected, it still did nothing. It was announced that the interest rate would continue to remain at 5.25% to 5.50%. This is the fourth consecutive time that it has marked its head. Chairman Jerome Powell also said, honestly, although inflation has slowed down now, it has not stabilized yet. He dare not rush to cut interest rates and has to wait and see. In terms of the dot plot, the expectation of interest rate cuts this year is still twice. The number of Treasury secretaries who oppose interest rate cuts has increased from 4 in March to 7. Obviously, the internal considerations are closed and expanded. The number of interest rate cuts in 2026 has also shrunk, and even in 2027, it is still very defensive. Affected by this, Bitcoin fell slightly before the meeting, rebounded after the meeting, and finally hovered around $105,000. The market has learned to be smart now. Whatever the Fed does, sentiment analysts say that although this wave of slow rate cuts is not a big positive, it at least provides a relatively stable environment for risk assets. If the CPI and PCE data match well in the future, there may be a breakthrough in the market for Bitcoin and Bitcoin before the end of the year. Although Bitcoin has been stuck near $105,000 recently, the market has actually started to pump money. Let's take a look at the derivatives data. The open interest has dropped from $37.8 billion on June 9th to $33.7 billion, a decrease of 11%. It seems like the surface is calm, but in fact funds are withdrawing. The leverage withdrawal war has started again. To put it bluntly, everyone is afraid to gamble. Macro uncertainty and geopolitical uncertainty are not enough. Everyone is afraid of a direct explosion in an accident. So although the price looks strong, there is actually no new push. The market is like a kite hanging in the air, which may be deflected by a gust of wind at any time. The next trend is likely to fluctuate between $102,000 and $108,000. Want to break through? You have to wait for the next wave of macro signals or breaking news. Short-term players should not hold heavy positions and keep some bullets for observation, and long-term hodlers should explore the leverage position structure. If it starts to rise again one day, it may be a signal of a new cycle. Bitcoin funding rate has continued to fall since the beginning of June and has now turned negative, falling to negative 0.0027%, a new low in the past month. This means that the bulls don't want to play anymore, but the bears continue to pay money. The leverage funds see that the market is not strong enough, so they directly reduce their positions and run away. But on the other hand, the spot market is lively. The Bitcoin spot ETF has been attracting money for 8 consecutive days. On June 18th, it attracted $388 million in one day, which is like copying homework. The contract sentiment is receding, but institutions are quietly buying, and the market split is more exciting than the plot of American TV series. Against the background of short-term cooling sentiment, institutional capital took the opportunity to deploy at a low level. ETF has become the largest buyer in the current market, which is expected to lay the groundwork for the subsequent rebound. It is recommended that leverage traders control their positions and guard against volatility amplification risks, while medium and long-term investors can pay attention to the dynamics of ETF holdings and inflows as a reference signal for potential layout. Please like and follow us to sort out the latest developments in the cryptocurrency, blockchain, and mining circles within 24 hours. Click the small bell to join the channel and become a member. You can get the member wealth code from Monday to Friday. Pavel Durov, the founder of Telegram, has made headlines again recently. This time, he is full fire and angry at France. In an interview, he directly stated that France is no longer facing many problems, but is facing a systemic collapse. He also pointed the finger at French President Emmanuel Macron, severely criticizing the policies he has come up with, saying that none of them can be solved, and said that he is completely disappointed with Macron. Durov not only scolded the policies, he said that France is becoming increasingly radical in curbing censorship and supervision, making the country weaker, and it is not competitive at all. Moreover, the reform has been delayed, resulting in the continuous loss of talents, who have rushed to more popular and innovative places such as Dubai. He directly stated, if France does not change immediately, society really needs to hurry up.
Pavel Durov's fiery speech is not groundless. In recent years, social contradictions in France have continued to escalate, and various protests have emerged one after another. From the Yellow Vest movement against economic inequality and high living costs to the general strike caused by pension reform, people's antipathy to government policies continues to rise, revealing the deep structural problems of French society.
August last year, I arrived to Paris, and I'm greeted in the airport by a few...
What were you doing here?
I just, for touristic purposes, I was just hanging around for a couple of days, and then I was supposed to go to Finland after. And I wasn't supposed to stay. There was no business meeting of any kind. And I was greeted by policemen. They asked me certain questions, asked me to follow them.
France is currently facing a serious security crisis, with frequent and public security issues. This year, a number of kidnappings of cryptocurrency executives have shocked the country, including the rescue of Ledger founder David Barron after his fingers were cut off. The family of Paymium CEO Pierre Noyaza was attacked in Paris, and the father of a crypto entrepreneur escaped after having his limbs amputated. The police have arrested at least 24 people involved in the case, and some ransoms require the use of cryptocurrencies, which has aroused social concern about the safety of currency holders. Pavel Durov also warned that if society stagnates for a long time, it will face severe turmoil and collapse.
Durov's sudden attack on France this time was not entirely rational based on social observation and perhaps had some personal grudges, because on the night of August 24, 2024, as soon as he landed at Le Bourget airport in the suburbs of Paris, he was invited to have tea by the French police. The French side felt that Telegram was too lax and might become a gathering place for bad guys, and also threw him a batch of accusations of ineffective supervision. But the problem is that Durov has always been the spokesperson for the signboard of freedom, and Telegram has become popular by anonymous encryption without compromise. At the beginning, he was unwilling to sell VK shares, participate in Russia, and hand over user data. This time he was rectified in France. How could he not be furious? So you see that when he opens his mouth now, French society wants Egypt, there may be a bit of being served tea mixed in with the emotion. You may not think that the Bitcoin ATM machines in the United States have now become the favorite cash machines of scammers. As soon as the latest report of the FBI came out, it exploded. In 2024 alone, the United States received nearly 11,000 related fraud complaints, defrauding a total of $246 million, 31% more than last year. Among them, 2/3 of the victims are elderly people over 60 years old. Scammers are eyeing the wallets of the elders as withdrawal cards. The routine is not complicated. First come up with a love scam, a pig-killing plate, or pretend to be the FBI or a tax official, make up a story to make people run to the ATM machine to exchange cash for Bitcoin, and then scan a QR code and the money will fly away. Where did it fly to? The police said, it flew away directly. China, North Korea, or Russia, it can't be chased back. So the United States is now anxious and has launched a major rectification of Bitcoin ATMs, preparing to investigate and hold accountable at the same time. After all, even ATMs are not safe at the beginning of this year. It is really hard to prevent.
Spokane, the second largest city in Washington state, recently passed regulations to completely ban cryptocurrency ATMs in the city, immediately freeze new installations, and dismantle approximately 50 existing devices within 60 days. City Councilman Paul Dillon pointed out that the move was to protect the elderly and vulnerable groups. Cities such as Stillwater, Minnesota have begun follow-up discussions. At the federal level, Senator Durbin has proposed the Genius Act to promote unified national regulation. The Spokane City Council will continue to track fraud data, and if the results are significant, the ban is expected to be adopted by other cities.
The United States has the most Bitcoin ATMs in the world and has become a key target for fraud groups. As a result, the city of Spokane, Washington has been demolished. 50 machines must be replaced with cryptocurrency by mid-August, and the road will definitely not be so smooth. However, the police and consumer protection organizations are happy, saying that this actually directly cuts off their entry to the chain, cash cannot come in, and the routine cannot run. In the future, if the state or the federal government is willing to have universal KYC regulations, Spokane may open up again. This time, the ban is for the sake of respect, which can prevent fraud and not hurt innovation. Let's wait and see the data.
Cross-border payment costs are reduced and speed is accelerated. Liu Changdong wants to seize the next 100 billion market of stablecoins. When Pump.fun was blocked, some people applauded and some cried. Has the meme come to an end?
In 2014, Bitfinex launched Tether, the first stablecoin to be pegged to the US dollar. In 2018, the US financial technology companies Circle and Coinbase jointly launched USDC, which has become the favorite of big players. By 2023, the total market value of stablecoins has soared to 130 billion US dollars, accounting for 1/10 of the entire crypto market. In 2025, according to the latest Battle report, this number has reached 250 billion US dollars. With the passage of the US Genius Act, the stablecoin market is about to be snatched by technology giants. And the border payment circle is not willing to lag behind, and everyone is ready to go. The Hong Kong stablecoin ordinance will be implemented in August, and Ant Group will be the first to launch it. Ant Technology and Ant International, two subsidiaries, have already applied for Hong Kong licenses. Recently, Liu Changdong, the founder of JD Group, has made another big move.
Liu Changdong said that JD.com is ready to apply for stablecoin licenses in major sovereign currency countries around the world and issue them directly globally. He said that the goal is to reduce payment costs by 90% and shorten transaction time to 10 seconds. The first step of this wave of stablecoin plans is to use it for enterprises, mainly for B2B transactions, and it may be expanded to consumers' daily payments in the future. In fact, as early as 2012, when Bitcoin was only $14, Liu Changdong smelled the attribute of Bitcoin as digital gold.
请问你有没有赶上那个很潮很潮的，比如说炒比特币什么的呀？
还没有，我从来没炒过股票什么之类的。
比特币不是股票，
就是诸如此类这种虚拟的金融类操作啊等等之类的。
比特币是一种虚拟的货币，我很好奇，京东会不会有一天会接受比特币呢？或者说创造自己的这种虚拟货币或者金融的概念呢？
这个呢，我觉得还是要靠消费者，只要是网友接受了，我们就可以接受。在美国其实已经可以买机票了，现在比特币。
In fact, JD.com has quietly paved the way in this area. As early as 2021, JD.com began to use digital RMB DCP for employee salary payment, corporate payment, and cross-bank settlement. In July 2024, its subsidiary JD CoinChain Technology Hong Kong entered the Hong Kong stablecoin sandbox list, planning to issue a stablecoin pegged 1:1 to the Hong Kong dollar. This stablecoin is issued based on the public chain, and the reserve assets are independently managed by licensed financial institutions, and transparency and security are guaranteed through regular disclosure and auditing.
It is hard to see that stablecoins have completely changed from tools to protagonists. This time, Liu Qiangdong made a move and directly called for the application of a global stablecoin license, not letting go of any B end or C end, and his ambition was written on his face. To put it bluntly, this wave is heading for the position of the big brother of global payment. Now that international trade is moving in the direction of dollarization, and everyone thinks that cross-border payments are slow and the fees are high, the trend of stablecoin settlement has started. However, although stablecoins are attractive, there are too many regulatory tricks for global stablecoins. If JD wants to fly, it may have to pass several regulatory checkpoints first. Pump.fun was once regarded as the dream factory for meme coins in the Solana ecosystem. As long as you pay less than $2, you can issue coins in minutes, and the popularity can be directly imported. It is not an exaggeration to say that it is a coin circle amusement park. Issuing coins is like rolling dice. If you are not careful, you may get on the FOMO hotspot, and the dream of getting rich is staged every day. Until now, I have been dreaming and I woke up too quickly. Now this platform is basically gone. Many New York courts have filed class action lawsuits, and the official account on the X platform has also been permanently banned, completely silent. From making a fortune every day to collective encirclement and suppression, the collapse of Pump.fun is equivalent to a blow to all meme coin players. Is the disappearance of Pump.fun a harbinger of the collapse of the bubble, or is it a rebirth of another speculative frenzy? Is the meme coin thing a joke, or is it a new financial logic that we really don't understand?
But Pump.fun had everything necessary for the dark web to exist here above the surface, so exist it did. As it stands, with the feature taken offline, they might be okay, but there's a very real chance that
Pump.fun's official X account and the personal account of its founder Aaron Cohen have been banned by the platform. This is not an isolated case, but a large-scale cleanup operation launched by the X platform against meme coin-related accounts. The reasons for the ban may include illegal use of shared or black market APIs to operate trading robots, violation of the terms of service, or X's initiative to cut ties with Pump.fun, which is in dispute, in order to avoid legal risks.
The paralysis of Pump.fun has caused two completely different reactions from people in the industry. Some applauded and said that it was like a blood-sucking worm on the chain which had drained all the attention of good projects in the market, and it was a good thing that it was closed early. But there were also people who lamented, "My favorite casino is gone. What else can I speculate on in the future?" Although it is a meme coin platform, a series of air scams were born in just a few months, and it also stirred up the public chain war between Solana and Ethereum. Now it is being sued by the court, and its voice has been cut off by X. It is really the sky is falling and the platform is blacklisted, and the double critical hit hits the whole people. The question is the collapse of Pump.fun a healthy market detoxification, or do people simply not need this kind of speculative stimulation? Has the gambling nature of meme coins really become the background color of Web3?
US President Trump posted again on social media. Mr. Too Late Powell is the worst. He is a real idiot and is costing the United States billions of dollars. A few days ago, Zhao Changpeng posted on the X platform that people cannot live forever at present. Every platform should have a will function. When you are gone, your assets will be divided into several designated accounts according to the specified ratio. Elon Musk's artificial intelligence company xAI is facing legal action over its use of gas turbines at its giant data center in Memphis. According to the official announcement, Coinbase announced the launch of Coinbase Payments, a stablecoin payment solution built for e-commerce platforms that supports 24/7 instant USDC transactions and is built on Base. According to the official announcement, Coinbase announced the launch of Coinbase Payments, a stablecoin payment solution built for e-commerce platforms that supports 24/7 instant USDC transactions and is built on Base.
암호화 자산은 단기간에 부자가 되게 하지는 않지만 장기적으로 지속적인 부를 가져다 줄 수 있습니다. 현재 많은 사람들은 여전히 암호화폐에 대한 인식이 부족한 상태입니다. 왜 암호화폐가 장기적인 부의 성장을 이끌 수 있다고 말할 수 있을까요? 핵심 이유는 우리가 사용하는 법정화폐가 지속적으로 가치가 하락하고 있기 때문입니다. 인플레이션 메커니즘으로 인해 법정화폐는 매년 대량으로 발행되며 구매력은 계속 감소합니다. 반면 비트코인은 희소성을 지니고 있으며 총량은 201만 개로 고정되어 있어 더 이상 발행되지 않습니다. 더 중요한 점은 비트코인은 디플레이션 모델을 채택하고 있어 유통량이 시간이 지남에 따라 점차 줄어든다는 것입니다. 따라서 장기적인 관점에서 볼 때 비트코인을 포함한 디지털 자산은 자산 가치를 보존하고 증대시킬 수 있는 더 강력한 잠재력을 가지고 있습니다. 바로 이 점 때문에 점점 더 많은 사람들이 자산의 가치 하락을 피하기 위해 인플레이션을 방어할 수 있는 자산을 적극적으로 찾기 시작했습니다. 그리고 암호화 자산, 특히 비트코인은 그 가운데에서 유력한 선택지로 부상하고 있습니다. 하지만 여전히 많은 사람들이 단번에 부자 되기라는 신화에 유혹되어 고래버리지 고위험의 계약 거래를 통해 한 방에 돈을 벌고자 합니다. 결과는 대부분 정반대이며 결국 시장의 연료가 되고 맙니다. 저희가 권장하는 전략은 환상을 버리고 장기적인 시야에 집중하는 것입니다. 암호화 자산의 보유자로서 진정한 부의 성장은 시간의 복리 효과에서 비롯됩니다. 장기적으로 보유하고 신념을 지키는 것이야말로 부의 자유를 향한 올바른 길입니다.